Have you noticed that sometimes your progress is not as fast as other times, whereas sometimes it feels like your progress is the same for months, and you might be wondering, what are you doing differently between those two times that is creating such a huge disparity in the way that your progress is moving? Well, there's a few things, and I'm going to be talking about them today. So, these are the secrets to consistent gym progress. Stick around to the end because at the end, I'm going to talk about the most important one. So, the first secret to consistent gym progress is tracking your workouts. This is incredibly important because, firstly, if you're not tracking your workouts, you don't even know where you are. So, how are you going to get to where you are if you don't know where you are right now? It's like trying to navigate to somewhere, but you don't know your starting point. You need to know, firstly, how strong you are, how strong you want to get, but more importantly than that, this is going to be kind of like a confirmation that you're making progress. If your numbers in the gym are increasing week by week, then can assume that you're making steady progress because often when we're already lifting for a while, we can't notice month to month progress. We just have to assume it's there. And if we have something to rely on that we can see, like for example, the workouts that we're tracking, we're going to be much more confident that we're making progress. And that's going to have us a lot more motivated than if we're not seeing any results at all. And again, probably a this is one of the best ways to make sure you have good progress. The next thing is ties into that, and that is progressive overload. So, in progressive overload, it means that not only do you have a plan and not only do you track how much you do in your workouts, you specifically have a goal to outlift yourself every time, to do more reps, to do more weight, to do more sets, whatever it may be. It's important that you're progressing in the weight so that we know that you're progressing in your body transformation. Because if you're not lifting more weight, then you can't be sure again that you're making progress. And you have to make sure that you're maintaining good form and that you're actually increasing your strength and not just the weight you're lifting. And very importantly, the next thing is to decide whether you bulk or cut. A lot of people just flip flop between them for ages. They just don't know which one to commit to because they might be skinny fat, you might not have any muscle but have a belly, and you realize, do I need to bulk or do I need to cut? The answer is for most people, unless you're like above 20% body fat or 25% body fat, there's no need to cut. It's better to bulk. Main gaining doesn't really work because the muscle can't come from nowhere. Gain you have to literally gain weight for you to gain muscle. If you just try to gain weight and lose muscle, gain muscle and lose fat at the same time, that's going to be a pretty slow process. This body recomposition is not confirmed to work for everyone, and it's a slow process, which is why I don't recommend it entirely. On the other side, bulking always going to get you results. It's absolutely guaranteed that you build muscle. If you're training and you're in a calorie surplus, you will build muscle. So that is a much better resource than main gaining. Whereas again, once you get to that point, you need to cut. So I don't want to see any of this main gaining stuff where you're just doing a body recomposition, nor do I want to see these 2 week phases where in 2 weeks you're on a bulk and in 2 weeks you're on a cut. You can't really commit to either one. You're not really making any progress. You're kind of just staying at the same location. What I want to see from most people is, from all of you, is that you bulk for a year and cut for 2 months, or you bulk for 2 years and you cut for 4 months. And those type of phases are the ones where we make really, really good progress because for 1 year you're in the prime phase of making progress, and then just for 2 months you're in the phase of cutting down so you can get back to a fit level and start making the same level of progress again. That is the best blueprint for you to build muscle. Next, and finally, stick to your plans. So, this is very important because if you don't stick to your plan, you can't progressive overload. You can't lift more weight, because if you're always switching the exercises, you need to stick to one plan to make sure that you're actually progressing. Because if you switch every 2 weeks, you're always on new exercises and you're always kind of starting out as a beginner. So you don't really know where you are right now. And in order to progressive overload and ensure that we're building muscle, we need to lift more weight and we need to track our workouts, but we need to do it sticking to one plan for a few months. I think the bare minimum is 3 months. Anything less than that, and you're kind of switching too fast, not letting yourself adapt to your workout program and not letting yourself progressive overload and progress properly. You're just kind of flip flopping, staying in the same place, spinning your wheels, and doing nothing. So that's it for this video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out one of these two videos. Very soon, my new program on how to build an aesthetic body is coming out. You should definitely check that out. And that's it for today. See ya.